The meat pouch is produced with the same technology that produced food for astronauts. It completely seals out the outside environment and the content inside.
I like that, space technology.
Since the start of the agricultural revolution over 10,000 years ago, mankind has sought to make more food, more quickly and more affordably, while using the least amount of effort possible.
I heard they used to have a horse to do this job, but maybe it died?
Now, we have mastered the science of food production. You can see it every time you walk down a supermarket aisle.
Oh.
Every product.
What is this?
Every food that we take for granted has a story.
Oh, is that? It doesn't look 100% like the packaging, but it's something to aspire to.
In this exclusive series, we're visiting some of Asia's most fascinating food factories.
Hey, good job, everybody. Cool.
Witnessing what happens when some of the world's top engineers put their brains together.
Our R&D team is making new products almost every day.
Designing modern, miraculous, one-of-a-kind machines with only one purpose: to make food on a massive scale.
Does this production line ever stop?
We work 24 hours per day.
Wow.
Like this ice cream factory, where a uniquely engineered contraption pumps out 12,000 frozen treats per hour. Or this sausage factory,
I just want to put my mouth there, but I will not do that.
where they stuff thousands of delicious wieners each day.
When your workers leave, do you check their pockets for sausages?
Or a noodle factory, where modern-day manufacturing allows them to produce over 1 billion packs of ramen per year.
I noticed the shooting here is a bit restrictive. Why is that?
The world of food manufacturing is intense.
They have to make something that's going to appeal to the mainstream. They have to make it quick and affordably, or else people are not going to be interested.
Competition is fierce.
99% for exporting.
Oh, really?
And production secrets are guarded behind closed doors. Until now. The best ever food review show team is getting a rare look behind the scenes.
Oh, there it is.
Revealing industry secrets.
Oh, that's where the texture comes from.
Bringing our cameras to show
Oh, the mozzarella.
what no member of the public has seen before.
I've heard these are among some of the top rated in the world, but how does that work?
From local countryside operations.
Have you ever tried to make a giant spring roll from one of these? No, that's a good pity laugh. Why does this guy have a show?
All the way to some of the biggest, baddest manufacturers in the world.
We're all bundled up, we're safe. What do I do if I have to pee?
Today's mission, one of the most legendary items on supermarket shelves: instant noodles. I'm heading to a giant instant noodle factory, a place where they're producing over 1 billion packages of noodles each year.
We work 24 hours per day.
So how do they do it? Let's find out.
Street food for breakfast.
Our breakfast today goes back 3 generations. The dish's base is built upon humble instant noodles. But this foundation created the bedrock for a 30-year street food icon.
So we've come to a street food spot. The woman manning the station, she has a reputation for being, some people say mean.
Yeah, I don't think she's mean. She's very strict and straightforward. She doesn't yell at any customers, but yell at her team because she wants everything to be very fast.
Oh, the command center.
Yeah,
Yes.
the command center.
Right now is a moment of calm. She's not said anything for at least 10 seconds.
The noodles are served dry to prevent oversaturation. The soup is prepared separately, containing herbs, an egg, and 4 different types of meat. The rest is up to you.
You know that instant noodle is very malnutritious, except for the taste. It's very addictive. This way of eating really adds more nutrition into it.
Let's try it out.
Very tasty. I saw that she didn't measure all the seasoning she added into, but
No,
yeah.
not at all. Nice texture, not overcooked, just full of seasoning, full of flavor. So then you try some noodle, you jump over to here, and then you try some beef. This makes me so happy. Well, I know you're a big fan of fresh food, and vegetables especially. But here, these noodles are processed. How does that make you feel?
I really enjoy instant noodles.
You do?
Yes. It is like the food from my childhood, and also it tastes very good.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. It's very addictive. But what if I told you almost everything here is processed? I mean, if you look at the meatball, shrimp paste, these noodles, and actually any type of noodle is technically processed. So that word processed has a very negative association. But what's fascinated me always is how they can take something like noodles and mass produce it in one factory, make thousands or millions of packages in a day. You're doing a good job listening.
Vietnam is one of the top 5 consumers of instant noodles in the world. In a country of over 90 million, the average person slurps down 53 packages of noodles per year. So how does a country like Vietnam truly show their noodle devotion even more than countries like Korea? Let's find out.
Here we come to the mecca of all things packaged and processed. This is an Asian grocery store. And for me, Asian grocery stores blow out of the water the boring markets where I come from. Worms. You can just buy worms. I don't think you could do that in my hometown, and I think that sucks. You ever buy the worms?
Yes.
As a joke?
No, we really eat it.
No time to worry.
Here, look at these little balls. It says sausage hot la.
Hello.
What's that mean?
Means balls. Ball shape.
I will be
This is a...
Try snake skin gurami.
Oh, a snakeskin gourami. It looks a bit flat. Like this fish needs mouth to mouth.
wanna wake up without.
What is this?
Jellyfish. This is usually used for salad.
A salad. You like this one?
Yeah, I like it.
Does the jellyfish taste like anything? Don't say it tastes like jellyfish.
Tastes like jelly.
What's happening?
Oh, like chicken.
Hands up higher, higher, higher. We raise our hands up to the sky.
Oh man. And you know, the best section by far in an Asian supermarket is right here.
The noodles.
There's so many noodles.
In this country, a new instant product is launched every 2 days. Prices range from about 10 cents to around $1 and come from manufacturers around the country and around the world, even with some pretty fancy packaging.
What are some of your favorite noodles in here that you see? Are there noodles from your childhood or from your college days?
This flavor.
This one?
Stir fried pork.
The video we're doing today, it's actually through the company called BEFRS. They make noodles.
Okay, here.
Oh, it's a great. What noodle here do you like?
Yeah, this one. This one is from my childhood.
Did you really eat this when you were younger?
Yes.
Oh, you did? So you're not making up a childhood memory just to satisfy the people at BEFRS?
This is my family's favorite.
BEFRS, a legitimate childhood memory. So when I look at a Korean noodle, it's monstrous. And then I look at a Vietnamese noodle, and it's very cute and petite.
I think because the portion of Vietnamese meal is very small, and another one is they make it small so it's affordable for everyone.
Let's compare the price. Oh, wow. So this is 3,600 dong, 16, 17 cents. For the Korean one, it's $1. So it seems like this is bigger, but in reality, if you pay the same amount of money, you're getting this many noodles versus this many noodles. Why does your dad like this one so much?
This is one of the first flavor noodles.
What flavor do they have before that? Just sadness?
The two shrimp.
Oh, the two shrimp.
This is the first ever Vietnamese instant noodle. It came out just 7 years after the invention of instant noodles in Japan in 1958. In fact, mi tom, or shrimp noodles, is now a word used to refer to any type of instant noodle. And we're about to learn where these iconic curly-shaped noodles got their ways.
Oh, we are here with Ling, Deputy Director here at BEFRS. Sir,
Nice to
pleasure.
meet you.
Also, you're known as the boss of noodles. Is that right?
This is just one of BEFRS' warehouses, responsible for distribution to the north side of Vietnam. Oh, and 100 other countries around the world.
How many packages of noodles do you think you make in a year?
In the billions.
Billions.
What you see here is the result of over 50 years of history and non-stop innovation in the field of instant noodle production. Here, they've taken Vietnam's favorite street food flavors like bún bò Huế, hủ tiếu, and beef pho and cleverly transformed them into affordable instant versions. But let's not forget that one special product that started it all: Two Shrimps Instant Noodles.
Here we are.
Here we are.
We're all bundled up. We're safe. What do I do if I have to pee? So this is a factory where you're making noodles. But what noodles in particular are you making?
Mi hai tom noodles. It's a classic Vietnamese taste.
The base for these noodles is wheat flour that's mixed with water to create the dough. The dough starts rough and coarse, but begins to smooth as it passes through several compound dough sheeters, kneading the dough until it has a consistent texture and the perfect thickness for this type of noodle. Then it passes through a roll slitter. a cylinder specially designed to cut the exact shape and thickness of the noodle. This rolling blade slits the dough into the noodle's signature curly shape. Now this long, continuous stream of noodles heads to the steamer where the dough gets cooked through. It's still far from the shape we witnessed this morning at breakfast, but there's a lot left to do. Next, these noodles get a hit of flavor as they pass through the seasoning waterfall. Now this long, unruly strand of noodles is finally cut into exact portions. And those portions are placed in molds. Not only are the noodles steamed, but now they'll also be fried. The color changes from this to this, giving the noodles their distinct color. After frying, the noodles are cooled, bringing down the temperature, prepping them for the packaging room.
Do you think you make a kilometer worth of noodles in a day?
Oh, much more.
More than a kilometer. All right, well, we can extrapolate that later.
Yeah.
Now the noodles are topped with sauté and seasoning packets, then wrapped in their final packaging. The same exact style packaging that was used 50 years ago.
I'm not the kind to abide to my stereotype. You'd be surprised if you took a look inside. I simply walk by these intimidated eyes.
Well, Jupe, we just toured a whole noodle factory. And it turns out right here is the final resting place of noodles, other than our stomachs.
And action!
I should also say, it is the basic noodle. Nothing glamorous here. I think I found one piece of one scallion. It's a nice scallion. I think we should, we don't want it to get oversaturated. That's the problem.
Yeah, it will soak in a lot of water and like not tasty anymore. It's like nostalgia.
The noodles themselves taste kind of weedy. It's a bit savory, a bit MSG-y, but not a strong flavor. I should state that these are 3,000, super affordable. And then I think it's kind of up to you to add more, like the lady we went to this morning.
Yes,
It's like putting a cherry on a sundae or putting a bandana on an already good-looking guy.
with no eyebrows.
So this is how they started, but this company has expanded greatly since they began, even pioneering and innovating modern food technology, like these more premium instant vermicelli noodles.
Still a good thing.
Prepared like any other instant noodle, except it also comes with a meat pack, and the cost 5 times the price of our 2 shrimp friends, but still under $1.
This one is based off of the popular bun bo hui. So I'm noticing a theme here. They've tried to take a lot of the flavors of popular street food noodles and then condense it into a package like this. And even here, this noodle is completely different than the last one. This is more of like a rice noodle.
Rice noodles.
And then they have real pieces of meat,
Yeah,
apparently.
It's beef. It's quite chewy. It still keep the texture of the beef.
Pretty good texture. It's almost like a rehydrated beef jerky. I'm gonna mix some bun, some broth, some meat, all of it all together.
The texture of the noodle is chewier than the fresh noodles.
Right, they have a noodle here that you have to kind of rehydrate. So it's not like a fresh vermicelli, but it's pretty close. But the flavor overall I think is quite good. You know what's interesting though? Probably for twice the price, you could probably get a real bowl of bun bo hui on the street.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's like quite a challenge that they're up against. But aside from bun bo hui, they have hut diu, and the next one we're gonna try, pho.
Vietnam is a country obsessed with innovating new and creative ways to use rice. Rice noodles, thick rice sheets, rice paper, even rice straws. Vphone has been part of this innovation, developing rice-based instant products. They're healthier, super versatile, and especially delicious when paired with a meat pack.
The meat pouch is produced with the same technology that produced food for astronauts.
I like that, space technology.
What you see here is the iconic Vietnamese pho, mass-produced at an unimaginable scale, and we are part of the fortunate few who have been granted access to see the process in person. Well, us and all of you watching. First, the rice is cleaned and soaked in water until it becomes soft. This bucket elevator also helps remove unqualified grains. The survivors all fall into a grinding machine that we're not allowed to show you. But between you and me, the grinding machine is used for grinding, turning the rice into a silky water rice liquid that looks like milk. That rice liquid is pumped into a trough where a roller picks up a thin layer and spreads it evenly over a white mat conveyor belt where it disappears into a steamer. We can't show you the steamer, but between you and me, the steamer steams the rice sheets.
I noticed the shooting here is a bit restrictive. Why is that?
We are the first company in Vietnam to produce this, and we came up with the technology. I'm really sorry that we couldn't show you more.
This is known as man pho, or a rice noodle sheet. From here, the rice sheet is cut, dried, portioned, and set en route to the packaging area. Here, the noodles are met with seasoning packs that descend from the heavens, then plop perfectly on top. Awaiting their final wrapper. Seasoning packs, wrappers, cutting. It all happens with precise and meticulous timing, so each package looks exactly the same.
I put my foot to the pedal to the floor.
Each package goes through a metal detector to ensure there are no unwanted foreign materials inside.
I'm ready to go to war.
Each noodle is weighed, and at last they're boxed and ready to hit the road. Two of the most popular flavors, chicken pho, and the one I can't wait to try for the first time, beef pho.
Foot on the pedal, man, I'm losing my composure. Rave to the AM, to the 5 shows. Hold up.
Vietnam is really renowned, especially for its pho. And the staple of any good pho, most people would say, is in the
Broth.
Exactly. And the broth, it's not known for being something instant. Good pho shops are waking up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., throwing pork bones and some water.
Like 12 hours.
It takes time and the right blend of ingredients to create a really complex flavor. Here, they're attempting to do the same thing in 30 seconds. Let's taste the broth. I taste the cloves, I taste the star anise, I taste the pepper.
Maybe because pho is my favorite food, so I expect more than that.
Oh, I'm not saying it's exactly like the street, but the traces of the staples of pho are still there.
Yeah, I think they've done a pretty good job.
Pretty good.
Yes.
Let's try out these noodles.
I'm impressed with the texture of the noodles.
Right? I am too, actually. I think the noodles, they're not overly soft, but they're not like the last one where it was overly hard. It's a pretty good balance.
This is like half the price of the real pho noodles.
Right. And again, that's a challenge. But if you're in a pinch, if you're in a quarantine, or if you're just hungry in your dorm room, it's a very good alternative. If you were to add a step to suggest a way to make it a little better.
A separate package of fresh herbs, dry fresh herbs.
Oh, right, that is the element that's missing. Because usually you would have fresh basil, mint, coriander.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they'll take that feedback and we'll see that soon.
Factory food is food trying to find a balance between quality and affordability. Made possible by those who think outside the box. Pushed forward by engineers designing and building one-of-a-kind mammoth machines that have never existed before. Our Factory series continues as we take a closer look inside one of Asia's busiest sausage factories.
It's smoking on a scale like you have never seen before.
Learning how to maintain quality.
See? High safety standards.
While pumping out millions of meat pounds per year.
Whoa, that's more meat than I could eat in a decade.
So invite the boys over and order a Meat Lovers. This is gonna be sausage overload.
Right now we are in food shop, but this food shop is not any food shop. They're selling sausages. Every kind of sausage you can imagine, and about 3 or 4 that you could not imagine. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Can you ask her how many sausages do you have?
Ở đây mình có bao nhiêu loại xúc xích vậy em?
Back for more factory food fun. Friend of the show, Jup.
So they have 5 main types of sausage here.
5?
Yeah, 5.
Oh, I thought it'd be a lot more than 5.
This shop, opened just a year ago, is the only one of its kind, and their sausages fill up over 500 customers per day.
Today we're undergoing an epic sausage journey. These are words I never thought I would say. We're gonna have a long, hard day. It's gonna be like a sausage party. Have you ever been to a sausage party? That's a trick question, because if you arrived at the sausage party, it would no longer be a sausage party. Have you ever been to a sausage? You know what, let's continue. We're kind of getting a taste of the sausage. They have 5 main kinds of dogs, but you can put them in a bun. They have them in corn dogs. This is tough. Okay, I want one of these, and 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 Oh, and a cheese dog. Now, can you tell me, is that a lethal amount of sausage? It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sausage me up.
All the sausages are sliced on the sides to maximize the surface area, creating more crispiness.
This is the sausage scene of my sausage dreams. Feel free to just list them out.
This is the Creole sausage, the traditional German one.
It tastes traditional, German. Is there some guy named Hans at their factory who made this? A little sweet, very salty. Juicy. Are we really gonna try every hot dog here? Here they've taken corn dog technology to new heights. It's so technologically advanced it doesn't even have a hot dog inside. It's just full of cheese.
They call it hot dog.
Why?
They try to penetrate the market with the name that Vietnamese is familiar.
I don't know if you could say penetrate the market in a sausage episode. I'm doing my best to keep this one clean and you're talking about penetrating the market. All right, let's penetrate this cheese dog. What I like most about that is there's cheese inside,
I think there's butter inside the batter.
which makes it better. So from here, we're actually going to a sausage factory and we're gonna go meet Hans himself.
All the sausages we just ate were produced in this factory. This is the high-tech, high-quality headquarters belonging to Duc Viet Company, one of the major sausage players in the sausage game here in Vietnam.
Right now we are with Duan, factory manager. Sir, thank you very much for having us today. What an honor to come to your empire of sausages.
This sausage empire produces 88 different products, including various types of cold cuts, processed foods, and of course, sausages.
Do you have a German guy named Hans who helped develop the German sausage recipe?
Nếu như nói về cái lịch sử
The name of the company is Duc Viet, which means Germany and Vietnam. And it was founded by a Vietnamese guy and a German guy named Baliles. And all the technology, the recipe came from that guy.
Okay, fantastic. Let's go check out some sausages. Duan, is that you? Okay, good. I just want to make sure we got the right guy. Every time I look around, I lose you. We've entered the factory. It's much colder than I expected, but that makes sense.
Right now, we're in the mixing room. Here, the cold working environment keeps the bacteria in check. It also helps preserve the meat textures while they're being mixed.
This machine I'm standing next to, what do you call this?
Yeah, this is a mixing machine.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
I thought it would have a more epic name. I would call it like Hercules or King Kong, but that's okay.
This behemoth of a mixing machine has one sole purpose: blending together tons of meat and transforming it into delicious meat gloop.
Have you ever had a person fall in there? I love the look of you don't want to translate it. It's a fair question. I think a lot of people are wondering, have you ever had a person fall in and get ground into sausage?
Không, cái này nó đảm bảo an toàn.
No one has ever been hurt from this machine.
I'm glad we asked that. Now we know.
Every hour, more than 2.5 tons of meat and fat go through this machine. With the meat gloop now perfectly gloopy, it's ready for the next step. The next step in this sausage making journey is the stuffing. Giving our formless meat gloop a home. This is where sausages get their form, shape, and size. Some sausages get stuffed by an automated stuffer.
Where do I buy a machine like that?
They imported this machine from overseas.
Ah, so I have to go like online, like Amazon.com maybe?
Exactly.
This machine can pop out an average of over 1,300 meat pounds per hour.
It's like a laser beam of sausages. It's kind of beautiful. You can't tell, but I'm smiling with joy under this mask.
The only drawback is the sausages must use the more robust, less breakable collagen casings. Effective, but not nearly as tasty as intestinal casings. seasonings.
How much does a machine like that cost?
Nó rất là đắt tiền đấy.
$250,000.
Wow, that's almost as much as my college.
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the
The
road.
more coarse sausages are stuffed by hand,
The stage and leave with me.
using the more delicate intestines, usually from pigs or sheep.
Mama flick up. Bill, I'm in the mood.
Intestines contain fat, so when these sausages cook up later, they'll be encased in a fatty wrapper that pushes even more flavor into the meat.
Straight from the mud like Ruby. Straight to the stage, they love me.
After these sausages are stuffed, expert meat handlers skillfully string the meat sticks on a steel rod and hang them from a cart.
Came in with the what's that? Left out with the who she.
This cart doubles as a vehicle and a cooking rack. When it's full, they hitch a ride to the steaming room. In the steaming room, the sausages are sealed in a steaming chamber with all their friends. Here, they get steamed for around 20 minutes. This cooks the sausages all the way through and kills any remaining bacteria. After that, they get smoked for an additional 15 minutes. This adds another layer of rich, smoky flavor.
This is the smoke room. Right next to the steam room, here they've got smoke on a massive scale. Inside of here, they've got these oak chips all the way from Germany. So they use the oak chips to create the smoke, and then they have this advanced piping system. They'll move the smoke from here across to the other room into the steamer. It's smoking on a scale like you have never seen before.
After the steaming and smoking, the sausages are moved to the final step. One last check.
So right now we're in the packaging room, and here, one of the most amazing machines I've ever seen. It takes all these sausages that are linked by a casing and then cuts in between each sausage, and it must do like a mile of sausage a minute. Look at this thing just spewing out sausages. I love it. I just want to put my mouth there, but I will not do that. That would not be sanitary. So we have finally made it to the end of the sausage making process. Before the sausages are released into the wild, they come here. Obviously, at the very end, you have to do your quality assurance, making sure just the best wieners are getting out there to be in the public's hands and mouths. Do you ever have hot dog rejects?
Một mắt thường thôi.
The checking will be done by the workers here. When they put the sausage inside the bag, they need to check.
Each product here is judged under strict criteria like color, shape, and size. If all the sausages meet all the requirements, if they're all perfectly uniform, only then can they be packed and sealed in their final home. After packing, they'll go through a metal detector, ensuring there are no unwanted items left behind, like that one time Larry lost his wedding ring in the meat gloop. Joking, just joking.
My last question, but it's very serious. Okay, don't laugh. When your workers leave, do you check their pockets for sausages?
Tránh được không là người ta.
They don't bring it home, but they usually like hiding somewhere in the factory and eat the sausage.
Well, it's almost irresistible. That steaming room smells delicious. So I get it. All right, thank you so much for your time. A riveting experience, so cool.
After winning the golden ticket to this sausage factory dreamland, I'm ready to get out into the real world and witness how everyday folks are using these products in their own street food creations. So, Jupe brought us here.
Xin chào Ji. So right now we're at your mobile food cart. You weren't here a moment ago and now you are.
Ms. Fong has been a mobile vendor for 9 years. She starts every day early in the morning and drives around the streets of Hanoi until she sells out.
Here you have classic Hanoian food. We've got sticky rice. Inside it's stuffed with mung bean, pork fat,
Pork belly.
pork belly I meant. And on the side, Duk Viet Susik. That's how you say sausage in Vietnamese. Suk sik. So, ma'am, what is it that you love so much about Duk Viet sausages?
Sausage nước Việt này chất lượng nó tốt.
The quality of the sausage from Đức Việt is very good, and also our customers really like this type of sausage.
Well, I can't wait to try it out. Thank you so much. Right right here we have our sticky rice all cut up into little pieces and that classic Duk Viet sausage sliced up. Try it out.
Yeah, let's try.
Oishi. Do you think it's true they never accidentally turned a human into a bunch of sausage? You think that's true?
I don't know.
You're questioning it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. He seemed confident in the factory, but you never know. So, the perfect pairing. She's fried up the sticky rice. It's become crunchified on the outside, and you can see the inside layer. Oh, that's a nice piece of pork belly. The outside is crunchy from the sticky rice, but inside it's just kind of a smooth, somewhat savory, but pretty mild mashed potato feeling. And then you gotta pair that with the very salty, hot dog. Is it a sausage or a hot dog? Now I don't know. I've been in Asia too long. My wiener meter is all off. Either way, let's go back to Ho Chi Minh City and see sausage culture there.
From Hanoi, we're heading south to Saigon for one last treat. Here, Ms. Lei has been attracting crowds with her creative take on sausages since she was 15 years old. She calls it bread and hot pan with full toppings. The name might need work, but the food does not. It starts with a sunny side-up egg. Oh, sorry, I mean a sunny side-up egg. She whips another egg with chili sauce. Next, onions, canned mackerel, scissored sausage, and my favorite, her insanely crispy sausage. Toss on some processed Laughing Cow cheese and a lethal dose of soy sauce. Time to eat.
We've teleported all the way to Saigon, where they have another wonderful use of sausages. Here, we've got some banh mi. She's toasted this, cut it up. I'm gonna put cheese on this one. A little bit of egg yolk. Oh, that's nice. And then some sausage. Bing bong.
This is exactly my kind of eat.
What do you like about it?
Everything is very balanced. I don't like bacon, but I like this kind of fried sausage.
How do you not like bacon? Did you have a pig as a pet when you grew up?
No, my pet was a fish.
Okay. Unrelated to bacon.
Yeah, unrelated.
Got it. To me, it's all just like heavy breakfast foods. I wouldn't want to have this every day, but I love the egg, some meat, a ton of sauce, and a wedge of cheese. Anyways, early on, when we went to food shop, I feel like I was a little dismissive. Are we really gonna try every hot dog here? I didn't pay the sausage enough respect. And then after seeing all the work that goes into it, the attention to detail, I really came to appreciate these simple things that are in front of me right now.
Japan. They're known for their sushi, famous for their wagyu, and loved for their ramen. But what about Japanese-made sandwiches?
A Japanese recipe eaten in Vietnam. Let's try it out.
Inside most of Asia's famous convenience stores, you'll find a cooler section packed with fresh, ready-to-eat snackables. These foods have an origin story that's never been released to the public until now.
What were the biggest challenges in opening this factory?
So actually everything was challenging.
Today's mission, seeing how the Japanese culture of refinement and perfection has been applied to dozens of ready-to-eat mini-stop favorites. I'm heading to a giant factory in a non-disclosed location, uncovering the secrets of the perfect crustless sandwich, convenience store sushi, and more. So how do they do it? Let's find out.
Lau.
Yes.
Here we are in one of my favorite places, an Asian convenience store. So there's something special about convenience stores in Asia. They're always packed with super unique, original, sometimes unbelievable, unfathomable products, like ice cream. You'll find ice cream flavored like corn. Does that seem okay to you?
Yeah.
No, wrong.
Why?
It's super weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think like similar, you can put any single flavor in ice cream. Like
Broccoli? I know it. They have corn ice cream. How about you try that one?
It's really good.
I try some of yours?
Yeah. It had corn in it.
No, corn's so f***ed up. Here we have the grilled seaweed roll. I don't know what that is, but here you go. There's one for you. Oh, it's literally just a round piece of seaweed. Oh, it's seriously spicy. What is this?
The skins of animals or whatever.
Oh, just skin of animal.
Oh, fish, I guess.
They put the word collagen on there. Ooh,
Skin.
not fishy at all.
No. Can I have one more?
Yeah, it's good. Mom, we've come to the most epic section of any Asian convenience store. The refrigerator, holding all the fresh items brought very recently. We've got sandwiches, noodly items.
Sushi also?
There's sushi
Yeah.
here, and even kimbap, originally known as onigiri. Do you ever wonder how this stuff got here?
Maybe it distributed from different factories around.
They gotta make a lot of sandwiches in one day, right?
Sure.
If only we could discover where all this delicious food really came from.
That's gonna be really awesome.
Mom, I have a surprise for you. Today, we're taking a field trip to the factory that makes sandwiches.
Really?
Sounds pretty good, huh?
Cool, yeah.
Let's teleport. Mr. Serizawa, Takaya,
Nice to meet you.
thank you so much for having us today.
Welcome to Japan Best Foods, one of the first to put ready-to-eat fresh foods on shelves here in Vietnam. Operating under their Japanese parent company, Nitto Best, Japan Best Foods has brought their knowledge, equipment, and technology to Vietnam in hopes of carving out a whole new industry here. Currently, they're producing 30,000 meals every day with over 90 different products.
Is this the first country that you've been to outside of Japan?
Yes.
Is that right?
Actually.
So why did you choose Vietnam and not Thailand or some other country?
First of all, the food culture of Vietnam seems similar to Japan because there is no restriction of eating meat. But I think Thailand, they don't prefer to eat beef.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Vietnam is among the top 3 most vibrant retail markets in all of Asia, with over 4,000 convenience stores across the country, making it the hotspot for convenience store brands looking to cash in. But there's a problem. In Vietnam, street food is everywhere. This is also fresh food made on the spot in large quantities for very little money. You can get this for under $1. So can a foreign food company compete or attempt to change an eating culture that's been around for centuries? This factory's production line includes every step of the food making process: cooking, mixing, assembling, and packaging. Beyond production, they also run an ambitious research and development program. In this room, they invent and develop new products almost daily. More on that later.
Mr. Takaya, while we're in the factory, we're gonna talk about 2 main foods that I see all the time. One is a sandwich.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later. The other one is kimbap, but in Japanese it's called onigiri.
Onigiri, yes.
Which country invented that?
It's from Japan.
Really? Would Korean people agree with that?
I hope so.
How many different types are you making?
20 onigiri.
Oh wow, that's a lot, way more than I thought.
So what is the best-selling one?
Grilled chicken onigiri and tuna mayonnaise onigiri.
Yeah, I love tuna mayo.
I like tuna too.
Much of this factory is about as chill as a refrigerator.
It must under 10 degrees.
So any food that needs to be cooked for any product gets cooked here in the hot room. Right now, they're working on the minced grilled chicken onigiri. Before being sent to the mixing room, the cooked food is temperature tested to ensure any potential bacteria are deceased.
Grill fillings is one of the popular flavor of onigiri in Vietnam, but it's not popular in Japan.
Is it even available in Japan?
I don't think so.
It's only for Vietnam.
Exclusive?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Here, the chicken is mixed with a 5-spice sauce, the famous Chinese spice blend that's long been a part of Vietnamese traditional cuisine. Then, these ingredients all head to the next room for assembly. This is where everything comes together, the assembly and packaging of all their products. Next, these rice vessels are filled with grilled chicken. She precisely portions out the filling by hand, not too much and not too little. Just the right amount so the next step can be carried out successfully.
Right here we have the onigiri machine. Every hour it's pumping out 3,000 of these suckers. What's remarkable is the level of detail and thought that goes into everything they do here, because the standards they're operating at are well above any that they're obligated to by any governing bodies. For example, here they have a mini X-ray. Even if they find a single eyelash inside, the machine is gonna stop and they're gonna throw it out.
This is the typical onigiri shape, but this food can take many forms. All you need is a specifically engineered machine created by Japanese food scientists. Easy, right? Next, this naked rice vessel heads through the packaging machine where it's wrapped with seaweed and sealed in plastic to keep it fresh. There's something magical happening here. It's not easy to see at first, but we will reveal it starting now.
So we have to use number 1 here, this pull tab that splits the plastic in half, and we pull out side number 2. It slides this layer between the seaweed and the rice out. Because if the seaweed was actually touching the rice, it would get soggy. We want crunchy seaweed. And layer 3 comes out. Here, as you can see, there's a big rice triangle, but now we have fresh, crunchy seaweed. Should we give it a bite? Sure. Let's go for it. I didn't reach the filling yet, but already I love the taste of crunchy seaweed with rice. That alone is a yummy snack. Interesting. Chicken flavor is really good. It's kind of peppery, succulent, but you know what would be good? Chicken mayo. There's a lot more stuff to try. Maybe we grab a few different items, head to the table, try it out.
Japan Best Foods has a huge focus on freshness with very little time to turn around product requests. Here's how it works. First, they take orders from 600 convenience stores around Saigon. Then, they must produce those orders the same day. By midnight, it's already on store shelves. Unlike making instant noodles, where you can have thousands or millions of packages sitting on shelves waiting to be sold, this is a zero inventory business.
You guys have convenience store sushi.
Yes.
How long can it hang out on the shelf before it has to be thrown away?
2 days.
2 days.
When arrive to the store.
I mean, my standards are much lower than yours, I can tell you that. I had a sandwich in my fridge from like 2 weeks ago.
The sushi are stuffed with a variety of potential ingredients. Later, each piece is cut by a machine before heading to the assembly room.
As it moves down the assembly line, they already have the sushi made. At this point, they just need to put it into each of the packages, close it up, tape it, label it, and send it out. So we grabbed every kind of sushi they have here, 15 different flavors. They actually give you a little packet of soy sauce on the side.
I do the Vietnamese way. I just...
Oh, with your teeth? The American way, we use a gun. Tuna?
Tuna,
You got tuna
yeah.
here? Let's try this one.
Yeah.
Quite good. Over here, they have some more like advanced style sushi. This one is egg mayo. This one is mayonnaise, crab stick, and
Corn.
a little bit of corn. Mayonnaise, rice, and soy sauce. My 3 favorite flavors together.
I just love corn so much. This is good.
Here for the sushi, we got egg, cucumber. Is that also cucumber? That's cheating, guys. What the F? 6 cucumbers out of 15 pieces? This has some pork, carrot, Whittier mushroom. What's interesting to me, there's not like a lot of raw salmon, raw tuna.
Yeah.
They've intelligently designed a sushi menu that works for these conditions.
Well, I think that the idea of bringing sushi inside a convenience store is great because, you know, for a long time, like sushi would consider like something fancy.
That's right.
That's good.
Except for the cucumber. Not a big fan.
I fully expected Japan Best Foods to excel at convenience store onigiri and sushi. But what about Japanese sandwiches?
In a month, how many sandwiches do you think you're making and putting out?
100,000 pack per month.
And last question, this is a pretty serious one. Why do Japanese people hate bread crust so much?
耳をなんで取るんですかねという。なんで嫌いなんですかねっていう。We don't know.
If you know a thing or two about Japan, this machine probably won't surprise you. They've engineered a highly advanced technology just for this. This machine's only purpose is to remove the bread crust, a process whose origin they can't even explain.
Does that get thrown in the trash or does that get reused somewhere?
Actually, it's going to be a trash and it will become a feed.
Oh, okay, so other animals like pigs or something will eat it? That's not trash, it's like still being used.
Instead of a crust-hating machine, they could have built a sandwich-filling machine. But here, they think that job is best done by human sandwich-building specialists. The sandwich marches down the conveyor belt as it goes from concept to being. Each specialist adds a new layer of flavor or an ingredient until the product becomes whole and self-actualized. All these ingredients were recently brought together in the mixing room, like this egg salad made with diced up hard-boiled eggs and tangy mayonnaise. Or this tuna salad, tuna mixed with tangy mayonnaise. Or, well, just about anything else you could imagine mixed with tangy mayonnaise. After the sandwich has become whole, the executioner chops it in half, creating triangular-shaped sandwiches, ready for the packaging stage, which is also conducted by human packaging specialists. The sandwich is stationed in its final resting place and put back on the conveyor belt, awaiting the next step, where it'll get sealed up and labeled. The finished product will go through a quality check machine to ensure consistency.
I like that.
Me too.
There's a little bit of onion, lots of mayo, and plenty of fake crab legs. But the bread itself is really soft. It's a type of bread that just gets stuck to the roof of your mouth. Tuna with mayo and your favorite, corn.
Yep.
You're into cornography. Sorry, so they have the tuna, they have grilled chicken, and then the pinnacle of convenience store sandwiches, especially when it comes to Japanese people making them, the egg salad sandwich. It doesn't get better than this. It's egg, it's mayonnaise, it's some other stuff that they wouldn't tell us.
So much egg.
The egg yolk and mayonnaise, they're meant to be good friends. Well, anyways, we need to head back to the factory one more time because there's one thing we haven't seen yet, the R&D room. Boom. Oh, it's so good not to have those masks on. Here we're in a laboratory.
Yes.
Can you tell me what happens in this room?
We are doing the microbiological test in this room, such as new ingredient, and our final products are randomly tested every day.
If something's not meeting the standard, then what do you do?
We have to stop our production, shipment, and collect before it is delivered to our store.
Right now, we're in the room that I'm most excited for. This is the R&D department.
Yes.
Here in the research and development room, cooks, snacking specialists, and engineers of Yum are inventing new products all the time.
Our R&D team is making new products almost every day.
Are they limited as to what ingredients they can use? Can they use foie gras?
If the price allow, we would wish to use foie gras, but there's a limitation.
Do they taste it themselves to see if they like it?
Yes.
Oh, dream job alert.
This is not an easy challenge, as the food must still hit certain price points, meet health standards, keep its shelf freshness, and oh yeah, it's still gotta taste good too.
Basically, Mom, I was told that they're gonna make something unique just for us. They've created a dish for the first time, and it's gonna be revealed right now today. How heavy is it?
More than 10 kilograms.
More than 10 kilograms? That's over 22 pounds. He's wheeling it in. It's monstrous looking. I'm ready.
1, 2.
Oh my God. Yeah! Wait, hold on. I think that's me.
Yeah.
A red crab bandana. There's a bit of a receding hairline. That's me. Too much eyebrow. Guys, this is the best day of my life.
It's made from 64 small onigiri.
How much would you sell this for?
Priceless.
Good answer. It's priceless. Yes, gonna ease into it. Yes, it's working. Get a little haircut here. Oh, wow. There you go. That is beautiful. And guys, that's what my brain actually looks like inside. Can we eat this for real?
Yes, can you eat all one of them?
I'm gonna do my best. Mom,
Yes.
I want you to pick that up. And I want...
I can't even hold it.
Let's go for it. You did some damage there. You got through.
Can you say what?
I don't know what you're saying for sure, but I feel it. Here, let me try another bite.
Wow.
That one is fried rice. It's gonna take at least 15 minutes to eat.
Wow, that's a big bite.
Okay, I'm pretty full. Highly recommended. 5 out of 5. I like it. I'm full of rice. Maybe I can wrap it up and bring it home. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What an honor to be able to eat my own head.
And I just want to say thank you so much for your generosity. You're so generous to let me eat half of your head.
Every food you see here, all the steps and processes are largely the same as what you'd see in Japan, where this industry was created and perfected. Japan Best Foods isn't trying to compete with Saigon's bustling street food scene. They're creating a different, new experience altogether.
Today we're following one certain kind of bun. What is that?
So he will introduce us a porcupine one.
Porcupine.
Yeah.
Steamed buns. They're Asia's comfort food, stuffed with an endless array of tempting fillings. It's the perfect snack or a quick meal for on the go.
Yeah.
In fact, the only thing better than a steamed bun is
10,000 steamed buns.
Today's mission, breaking into one of Asia's most productive steamed bun factories. Here, we're getting a rare look at how these beauties are made behind the scenes. Some are savory, some are sweet, and they're all stuffed full of the same thing dreams are made of.
Smells good.
So how do they do it? How do they create heavenly mouth pleasure on an epic scale?
Have you ever seen cooking on this level?
No, never.
It's wild. I love it.
Let's find out. But first, a quick history lesson on these dreamy, steamy snacks. The origin of this creation dates back to long ago in China. Through generations of migration throughout Asia, the dish became widespread. In fact, many Asian countries seem to have their own take on the steamed bun. The steamed bun, known locally as bun bao, has been in Vietnam as long as anyone can remember. 30 years ago, this man started his own buns business, taking the entire industry to the next level.
Right now we are at Top Fat Factory, and you, sir, are the CEO of Dumplings. Nice to meet you.
Meet the man himself, Mr. Tall. Everything you see here all began at a humble alleyway dumpling stall. He and his wife sold pork dumplings, and that's it. Now, this steamed bun behemoth stretches 22,000 square meters, employing hundreds of locals.
In one day, how many dumplings do you think you're making?
100,000 products.
100,000?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All this wouldn't be possible without Mr. Taw's entrepreneurial vision, applying new technology to the old traditional method of processing dumplings. These days, they're maintaining the classics while innovating a whole new line of sweet and savory flavors.
Salty eggs, bird egg, pork, or sometimes you have a lot of things inside, yeah.
Just tons of different possibilities. Do you think I would be a good employee? I would only eat like maybe 10 bun baos per day. Fantastic. That's my resume. I'm going to eat your food. From here, we're going to actually take a look at the process of how you're making some of these bun bao. Let's check it out.
Và bây giờ thì mình sẽ bắt đầu đi tham quan nhà máy hả chú? Bắt tay với ông cái.
Come on. Thank you.
Creating the perfect steamed bun is no joke. It involves long, meticulously engineered processes, hard work, and pinpoint execution, from preparing raw ingredients to mixing and packaging. To help us understand more, Mr. Tung, manager of this facility, will give us an in-depth tour, starting at the birthplace of any bun, the dough mixing room.
Here we've come to the dough making room. Can you tell us what happens in here?
So basically, all of the flour will be bringing here, and then they will do the measurement. Then they put some other ingredients like yeast, like water, and then they put into the machine. Within 7 minutes, they have this dough.
Each of these humongous dough batches can weigh over 30 pounds, making up to 700 buns. After mixing, the dough comes out rough and wrinkly, like how I'm gonna look in a couple of years if I keep eating like this. As it takes a pounding in the flattening machine, the dough becomes smooth and consistent. Next, the dough will be divided into equal portions using this machine. Then it's flattened again as it patiently awaits its filling.
When you think about bun bao, you think about nice doughy steamed bread, and you think about juicy pork dripping out of it, right?
Yeah.
This is where all that begins, the pork room.
Right now, we're seeing how they make one of their classic savory pork buns. First and most important, the pork. It starts by going through a specialized defrosting machine. A quick way to bring the meat to the correct temperature, getting it ready for grinding.
So what is the best ratio for meat and protein? That's like my body makeup.
The pork is flavored with scallions, soy sauce, minced onions, special seasoning powder, a mixture of MSG, flour, and ground pepper, then finally, sugar. On the assembly line, a massive team of dumpling do-gooders swarms around a conveyor belt to assemble the dumpling ingredients. The pork is divided into smaller portions, then manually placed inside the dough. The team takes turns also adding salted egg, quail egg, and a piece of chashu pork.
Everybody here, about 10 people, are grabbing it and kind of cinching it closed. And then from here, it's gonna actually head to the steamer. Oh man, all this raw pork is making me hungry. Way more than it should be.
After steaming, the buns are packaged, ready to hit the road. Their destination, the flagship Tofat shop, where all your dumpling dreams come true.
Boom. So, it seems like just moments ago, I was on an assembly line interrupting a bunch of women trying to do their job. Hey, good job, everybody. Sucks up. Sucks up. They were trying to make these, actually.
Yeah.
So here, we're about to reveal the savory, do you know the special name for it?
Bánh bao trứng muối xá xíu.
Sounds right to me. I have no way to confirm. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, it looks about like what you would expect. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So good.
I got a whole salted egg in my bite. It's so dry. Okay, I'm gonna try another big bite here. Oh man, that pork is so delicious. It's so juicy. It's that 40% fat that makes it like it's leaking out deliciousness.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty simple and delicious.
So that's the charming, savory side of steamed buns. But what about the other side? The sweet side.
So all kind of the sweet bánh bao is made in here, the filling.
Smells good.
Tofat started with the traditional pork buns only, but now, through years of renovating and innovating, they've developed a huge variety of sweet products, ranging from common fillings like sweetened mung bean and custard to newer flavors like sweetened taro and pumpkin. Here, among all these sweet buns, there is one in particular that makes my overweight inner child beam with joy, although the name might mislead you at first.
So he will introduce us a porcupine one.
Porcupine.
Yeah.
Are there real pieces of porcupine inside?
Okay. So the special thing about that one is the crystal filling inside.
Ah.
But the shape is like the porcupine. You have some guy.
The making of the custard filling. They start by pouring eggs, sugar, and condensed milk into a giant mixer. After it's all blended together, flour is added to create a smoother texture. Last touch, coconut milk. Now with everything mixed together, a colander is used to remove any chunks left over, making the final mixture heavenly smooth. Next, they pour the mixture into small cake pans and steam them for 20 minutes. When it's all done, they whip the freshly steamed custard in a mixer to create a more light, satisfying texture. The same type of dough is used for both savory and sweet buns. This machine is used for both wrapping the dough and the filling together, automatically shaping them into what may resemble a porcupine body with a tail. A team of design experts then manually cut the back of the dough ball to create the appearance of porcupine quills.
So basically, they cut the tail like this.
Oh, the tail becomes the nose? All right, this one is mine. Beautiful, spiky, bold. And then this is hers. And it looks like it's having a bad spine day. Can we ask somebody, hey, is this savable? Or oh, just throw it away in the garbage. Oh man, we really blew that.
Then, the porcupine buns head to the steam room.
Usually I go to a steam room when I'm hungover and I'm trying to feel better.
This room is divided into 3 separate sections. The yet-to-be-cooked section. The cooking section, where trolleys containing 14 racks steam for exactly 13 minutes. Then, finally, the already cooked section. Everything moves in one direction, heading into the steamer on one side, and once finished, being pulled out the other side, where the trolleys make their way to the cooling room for 1 hour before heading to packaging.
Right here, we've reached the end of the line for our little porcupine friends. Using this tool, some kind of edible ink, they create eyeballs for the porcupine, and after that, it's a sentient being, so it's actually quite a burden for the porcupine. It never asked for this life, but here it is nonetheless.
After packaging, these little porcupine dudes will be shipped out to supermarkets all over the country, excitedly waiting to be adopted by people and their stomachs.
The moment has come. Dessert buns. These are freaking adorable. The next hardest question, do you eat the head first or the butt?
Okay, I'd rather have a bun on the side.
I'm gonna eat the butt. Cheers. The bread is the same soft, steamy, bunny bread. And then the custard is sweet, but not over sweet. Here's what I like. In the front, it's like a grenade just went off, and now he's crawling to safety. And you're like, Porky, you're gonna be okay. And then you see the backside, and you're like, oh, actually, no, Porky's done for. I'm gonna have another bite. Here's the left cheek.
Does it remind you to any other dessert of any other country?
Like an Asian steamed bun shaped like a porcupine filled with custard? No, that doesn't remind me of anything.
Now you might be wondering, what could possibly be cuter than a porcupine bun? Well, allow me to introduce the pig bun. The production process for these guys is pretty similar. They use the same dough, but it's dyed pink with food coloring. Inside, they have the same custard filling. They head into the shaping machine, and the top fat team manually adds on ears before they're steamed and packaged.
Oh no, what happened? My pig's face is like halfway melted off. Look at this. This looks like one I would have tried to make.
Do you know why this is have the pink color?
Because it's like a pig.
Yeah.
I'm going butt first. Are you ready?
Okay.
Cheers. I don't know why I have to look so deep into the audience's eyes after I say I'm going butt first, but I assume they like it. Well, that one's even better. Less dough, more custard. It's a nice ratio. Very sweet. What a little oinker over here.
To round out today's dessert bun selection, we've got taro and pumpkin buns. The taro is made from taro, and the pumpkin, it's made from pumpkin. Both fillings are made using the same method. Steam the ingredients, allowing these machines to create a satisfying, thick, mashed texture. Then add a lot of sugar, turning these starchy veggies into something sweet. Steam, package, eat.
They put a stamp on top. What's it say?
It's mean food. When you eat that, you have your own happiness and have a good fortune.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
How do you feel?
I feel like someone dropped a cup of sugar into some mashed potatoes, and that's what I'm eating.
But I think usually when people have this one, they will have a cup of hot tea, so it will balance your taste.
Oh, it looks like Thanos' testicle. There's one more uniquely. Wow, there's a lot of ambulances on this street.
Because next year is two big hospitals.
Oh, it's a popular street to die on.
As you can see here, they try to make it a little bit look like the real pumpkin.
Oh.
This is the color pumpkin, and this is the leaf. Not really smell pumpkin, right?
So there's just a hint of pumpkin flavor and maybe almost a little bit of marshmallowy flavor in there too. Pumpkin belongs in soup, not in dessert, but they've put enough sugar in here that I dig it. Boom! Bonus food item. Yeah, you thought we were done? We're not. Not only is that factory making bun bao, they're also making dim sum.
Dim sum is a type of traditional breakfast originating in China and slowly amassing popularity around the globe.
Let's go back to the factory and take a look.
There are potentially hundreds of dim sum dishes, but here in Tofat, they specialize in just a few, most notably their hakao and shumai.
We have come to the dim sum wing of the factory here. You are the dim sum manager, yes? Hello? Xin Chao.
Meet Mr. Luan. They call him the Shumai Sergeant. He's in charge of what takes place here.
I'm curious, is it just an easy, natural transition to go from buns to making this kind of dim sum, hakao, shumai?
So basically, all of the filling inside have the same ingredient with the pork. The skin is just a little bit different.
The chewy hakao dough is made from 4 different types of flour. Meat filling is divided into small meatball portions and wrapped in the dough by hand. Shumai dough is made mostly from just flour, water, and egg. This gives it its signature yellow color. The filling can be made from shrimp or pork. This crafty machine force feeds the filling into each perfectly measured piece of dough, automatically wrapping the dough around the meat in the process. Before serving, the dim sum hit the steamer for 8 to 10 minutes.
And we're back, present day, Vietnam. I think what's special about this is it's incredibly inexpensive. For this whole thing here, it's only koi! Bao nhiêu tiền em? $33,000. It's less than $1.50. I'm gonna give it a little dip in our sauce here. Cheers. It's not as like robust and incredibly meaty as some highfalutin fancy dim sum place where they have carts and tea and old men reading newspapers, but it's still pretty good. Now this one is somewhat shrimpy, a bit bouncy. The final one, pork hak cao. It looks beautiful. Let's try it out. Somewhat similar pork to the bánh bao, but a little bit different seasoning, I think.
Yeah.
My favorite here out of all these is the siomai. Siomai. Every country says it kind of different. It's got a little pork, got a little shrimp, and a nice little bouncy texture. I have now been to over 5 factories in Vietnam. Top that has got to be one of my favorite. And gosh darn it, I hope more people around the world can experience it.
And I believe that someday Thảo Phát will have their name on the world map of bánh bao.
And one day I'm going to show my parents that pumpkin can be a dessert. And after they slap me, they might try it.
Mr. Ta's journey is a true rags to riches story. One man started with little more than a recipe and an idea, and through years of persistent effort, he went from an alleyway vendor to one of the biggest producers of steamed buns in Asia. Like any typical entrepreneur, Mr. Ta isn't quite satisfied with where he is now.
Are you ever blown away when you just think back to where you started and where you got to now with this company? No.
As he keeps his vision for the future strong. Mr. Ta has taught me a lot in our short time together, but most of all, I've learned that pumpkin makes a pretty good dessert. In our factory food series, this next product is perhaps the most difficult to produce and maintain before it hits store shelves.
For the sake of this video, I can't move my face.
From factory to supermarket floor, if it hits temperatures above freezing for too long, it's all over.
The whole thing here was over 100 billion Vietnam dollars.
Today's mission, see how some of Asia's favorite ice cream bars are made. Digging deep into how these modern-day machines can create a tasty frozen treat in under 2 minutes.
How many ice cream products are you making each year?
200 million.
We're heading to one of Asia's biggest ice cream factories. These guys are in the know when it comes to frozen foods of all types. So how do they do it? Let's find out.
Ralph, thank you so much for having us here.
Nice to meet you, to have you here.
My first question, a simple one. You're a German guy living in Vietnam, selling Italian food.
Before we head to the ice cream factory, we're making a quick stop at Ralph's Artisan Gelato to learn how ice cream is made. Here, his Italian ice cream uses the best possible ingredients, made from scratch. No premix, no artificial anything, all produced fresh daily.
So what is the difference between ice cream and gelato?
Ice cream has more fat, higher sugar, has more air, because you know why?
To save money?
Air costs nothing.
Later in this video, we're actually going to a factory, so...
okay. Oh.
This place offers all the classics you've come to know and love. But today is a lucky day, because we're going beyond the classics. Ralph is cooking up something just for us. Fish, sauce, ice cream, and beef noodle ice cream. Making artisan gelato follows the same principles as making ice cream. You'll need a liquid mixture, heavy cream, milk, and a flavor of your choosing. In this case, fish sauce, or a bowl of Vietnamese beef pho that's been completely liquefied.
For me, it's so strange, but I'm curious.
Maybe I'm the one who's gonna like it, and then she'll be put off by it.
Then there's a solid mixture containing 2 types of sugar, sugarcane sugar and dextrose. Then skim milk powder, inulin, and finally gelato powder.
Gelato is not really frozen like ice cube. It is something between. And to keep this consistency, you must work really careful on the gram.
With the fish sauce gelato, he uses a horizontal batch freezer that has 2 functions. On the top, the liquid is pasteurized at 185 degrees Fahrenheit to kill any bacteria. Then it drips down to the freezer drum below, where the liquid slowly becomes ice cream.
From plus 50 degrees to minus 6, 7, 8 degrees. It's maybe 5, 6 minutes.
In this vertical batch freezer, you can actually see this process taking place. Here, the beef noodle soup, along with all the ingredients, are changing form.
So at that time, is air being put into the ice cream?
Yes, ambient air is incorporated.
First flavor today, fish sauce.
Fish sauce is a liquid condiment made of sardines that have been coated in tons of salt and left to ferment until it becomes liquid, usually more than a year. But should it be in ice cream?
Woo-hoo! That is stinky. How do you feel about that?
Finally, my dream come true. Can't wait to have it.
You seem oddly enthusiastic. Are you on drugs at all right now?
No? Can you smell the fish sauce?
No, it just smells sweet. I'm just gonna get some wood. Oh, my wood spoon broke. That's fantastic. Let's try it out.
I can taste the at the beginning we cannot smell the fish sauce, right?
It's hidden inside. At first you feel the cold, then you feel the sugar, and then you're like, what's under that sugar? What is that? It's some kind of like savory umami.
For the first one, you feel very strange, but for the second...
Yeah, it's getting a little better as we try it more and more. Quick disclaimer, this guy's got magnificent, delicious gelato. It's so good. But this one, that is something else. And then here we have pho ice cream. What's great about this is it actually has real pieces of beef, noodle, and herbs, like pho is known to have, and a chocolate wafer, like pho is not known to have. This one melts super quick. Should we try it out?
Yeah.
Cheers. Wow, the herb flavor is really strong. There's something spicy in there too. Maybe that's why it's melting. Actually, this is more fun because it's very multi-dimensional, dynamic, and there's just different layers of flavors happening in your mouth.
This is usually my breakfast, not my dessert, but this tastes better, right?
Well, then fish sauce, yeah. From handmade to factory made, we're gonna go to a place where they're mass producing ice cream at an incredible scale. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Let's go. We're here. Sir, what an absolute pleasure. We are freezing everything off. Could you tell me, where are we right now?
So we are in the storage that reserve all of the ice cream, and the temperature is now in minus 28 degrees.
Having a factory where everything has to be frozen, what is the biggest challenge in doing that?
Cái khó khăn thứ nhất là điện, thứ hai là bảo trì hệ thống. Một khi mà hệ thống mà shut down một cái á, thì cái giá của cái kho này á, là trên 100 tỷ.
Wow! Yeah. So you have to have your own generators.
Yeah.
Welcome to Keto Factory. It's one of the most recognized companies in Vietnam, featuring 2 ice cream brands. Solano, known for recreating popular Western ice cream flavors, and Merino, which makes more unique local flavors.
I'm curious, you know, ice cream in the US versus ice cream in Asia, it's pretty different. Like people using beans, using corn. Do you make corn ice cream?
Yeah, we have both.
Well, listen, my toes are about to turn black and I don't want to have to cut them off. Can we go see how the ice cream is made?
Yes.
This is where all the magic happens. From mixing ingredients to packaging, all of it takes place in this room. Right now, we're gonna witness 2 of their best-selling ice cream flavors and see exactly how it goes from this to this in just minutes.
First thing I notice is it's not nearly as cold as the warehouse.
Độ ở đây khoảng 20 độ. Thì lúc mình phiêu chất lỏng á là nó khoảng âm 5 độ thì nó mới định hình được tốt.
In that green bean machine, how many ice cream bars does that machine make every minute?
250.
So per hour, we're looking at like 15,000. Is that right?
Yeah, my I'm not really good at math.
First, green beans are poured into a mixing machine that contains ice cream emulsions. Eventually, it'll become part of the ice cream mixture. On the rotary ice cream machine, the gram filler injects coconut milk down into the molds. Just a few clicks away, a second gram filler injects the green bean mixture on top of the coconut milk mixture, creating 2 layers of flavor. Before injecting, the liquid filling is a cool 40 degrees Fahrenheit, but when it hits the mold, the liquid freezes almost instantly to a precise 23 degrees.
How long does it take to design and get the machine ready to go?
9 months.
Like having a baby.
Yeah.
Next, this very same machine injects wooden handles down the ice cream molds. Before these frozen treats are removed, the ice cream molds are steamed from the outside to allow for easy extraction. Now the bars are ready for their next step, the flavor dip. Each bar is dipped in a signature flavor mixture that contains oatmeal and white chocolate, coating the top of the bar with another layer of flavor and texture. From there, it's only one step away from being ready to eat. Packaging. Before we finally get a taste, we're checking out one more ice cream flavor.
So I don't know how we came up with the idea to make the milky tea, brown, bubble ice cream.
Right.
Sữa dân châu là một cái trendy của Đài Loan. Thì mình đã từng đi du lịch để mình mê những cái concept như vậy.
Boba tea is a tea-based drink that includes boba, these chewy balls that are made from cassava roots. Now it's taking on a new form as ice cream. Unlike the mung bean ice cream, where they separated ingredients into separate layers, here, all the flavors are injected at once. The milk, the brown sugar, and the boba balls turn into ice cream in seconds, giving the machine just enough time to inject the bar's wooden eating handle. Every hour, this modern-day machine cranks out 12,000 ice cream bars. The molds are steamed and the ice cream bars removed. Now, they're heading to the last step, packaging. This machine places the frozen bars into a plastic wrapping as they head to the conveyor belt. They get wrapped, sealed, separated, and head down the assembly line where waiting ice cream handlers place the correct number of bars in the correct box. All the ice cream bars here are packaged in a similar fashion, but no matter what, they gotta move quick because the temperature in this room is above freezing.
I've tried Haagen-Dazs from a convenience store in Vietnam, and sometimes, I swear, it tastes like it's been frozen and melted 20 times before it got to me. My question is, what do you guys get right that other manufacturers are getting wrong?
From the storage room to the convenience store, they have a black box to check all of the ice cream. If the temperature below the standard, they will hold it back. So basically, for a year, they will throw away 1 to 2% of the product.
Can you throw it away at my house?
The boxes, now packed with ice cream, are automatically taped up, then quickly shot into the freezer, where the ice cream is stored before it heads out to store shelves. Soon, we'll visit Keto's Research and Development Department, where they're creating a new product that's never been seen by the public. But first, I gotta follow that truck.
Cylinder ice cream stick, brown sugar, konjac, burnt fresh milk. So long.
Let me begin at the beginning of time when I came out of my mama. I was trying to
This is one I've absolutely never tried. Let's go for it. It's very rich. I like that.
I loved it too because I'm a fan of milky tea.
That brown sugar is beautiful. It just has that super sweet brown sugar taste, like a thick molasses.
The boba make it a little bit jelly.
And it's kind of shocking because the boba, it would all sink to the bottom or to the, wait, is there any in the top? Oh, no.
You can skip lunch or dinner, but you cannot skip the milky tea with the brown sugar and boba.
Have you ever thought about going to a treatment center?
Yeah.
Okay. We're both gonna try the mung bean bar we saw made in the factory.
Yeah.
But here, this is durian ice cream. One of the most pungent, kind of stinky sweet fruits. I really like this one. What do you got there?
Taro.
Yeah, it must be yummy.
Yummy.
Taiyaki from Japan. Is that? Hey, is this made by Keto? It looks great then. Looks exactly like the label. Yo, why is there so much bean ice cream? What's going on? I mean, look, it's just a picture of beans. It reminds me of people eat sweet soup in Vietnam.
Yeah. They also make the porridge with the mung bean.
It's very new to me, a little strange, a little weird, like a dog with short legs.
Cannot imagine
It piques your interest. You can't imagine? That's all you have in Vietnam. I like that a lot.
For me, it's a little bit too sweet.
Well, maybe that's why I like it. You can taste the starch of the green bean. The cereal still has a dry crunch. That white coating is almost like a frosting.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, is that white chocolate? It's like a white chocolate. I was a little freaked out by the bean, but it's not just bean. Everything they put in there has made it kind of balanced and tasty. I gotta say, I'm very impressed, but we're not done yet. We're actually gonna go back to the factory and try one new treat that they're working on, something that's not been released to the public.
Really?
That's absolutely right. Wow. Now, in the research and development laboratory of keto with my man, Man.
Yes. Hàng ngày thì em sẽ nghiên cứu.
So basically daily his job is catching some trend on internet to see what the interesting thing, and his team will try to mix all of the flavor together and test in a small sample. So if it's okay, he will contribute the whole recipe for the bigger process.
The R&D department has their own ice cream machines and thousands of bottles of flavoring. All their best sellers, including the fresh boba milk tea with brown sugar, were created here by Man and his team.
If you create a flavor that becomes a big hit, do you get a bonus? Can we just get a subtitle? Uncomfortable laughter right here. I've heard that they developed something for us to try.
Wow, it's my honor to be here to taste that.
But first, it's not just him on this team. There's a whole team of researchers and also developers who are in here day after day slaving away eating ice cream. Actually, it sounds like a pretty decent job. Folks, first of all, can everyone introduce themselves and tell me your favorite flavor of ice cream? Just kidding, we don't have any time for that. So here's what I do want. My friend, Man, can you please go get it? Yes, ice cream time, here we go. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. Wait, shh, 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 shh. Oh my God. They say size doesn't matter, it's not true. Oh, it's so big. Look, it's beautiful.
So basically it's just the milky tea, brownie, bubble, ice cream, but in the bigger version.
Oh, it's so cold, I gotta put it down. The final ingredient's a little bit more boba.
Do you think how many people can finish it?
Oh, I think it's just me and you. I don't know what these other people are doing here. But...
Oh, that hurts.
Đây là cái sốt đường đen.
Brown sugar sauce.
This.
Ladies and gentlemen, take your weapons. This is a little bit awkward. There's all these people here. I'm gonna get some, oh, there we go. Some ice cream, some brown sugar, some boba. Let's go for it. Cheers. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, that's delicious. I love that sweet brown sugar. Nice texture of the boba. It's nice and chewy. This is to die for. Team, thank you so much. What an honor to come here, to be invited here, and to enjoy this amazing hospitality and a stunning creation. Let's eat. And then I'll do one of these, and we'll do a freeze frame, and then we'll roll credits. This lady's making one of my favorite foods ever. Oh, it's like a dream.
The average American eats over 35 pounds of cheese per year. That number in many parts of Asia is much, much less.
This body was made by cheese.
It still fit somehow.
What fits?
Cheese making is simply not a generations old tradition here, but there's one company.
We're getting down to cheesy business over here.
Who's planning to change all that.
Oh, I cannot tell you how satisfying it is to put my hands into this hot, melty mozzarella.
For today's mission, I'm heading to a hidden location in central Vietnam, where a skilled, passionate team is hard at work.
Oh, every time it's like magic.
This place is a cheese lover's dream.
You guys never let people take a bath in the milk, right?
Here, we'll find out how they make fresh cheese.
It's almost 8 p.m.
From scratch.
Your cheese making process goes overnight.
On a massive scale.
Why do you do that?
Why we do that?
Let's find out.
1, 2, 3. Are we ready? Ready. Okay, we're doing it. Oh, should we drink? Yeah, let's start with drinking.
Meet Masuko and Sonny. This Japanese couple is introducing food that's traditionally Italian to a Vietnamese crowd at this restaurant, known as Pizza for Peas.
So you can actually make alcohol from a dairy byproduct? When I was in Uzbekistan, I drank alcohol made from horse milk. Wow.
Horse milk? Horse milk?
Horse milk?
Fermented horse milk.
This is something I absolutely love right here. It's the only place in the world I found this type of creation. Is this your creation, one of you?
Co-creation.
Co-creation.
Yes.
Good.
Cheese has only recently become an emerging trend in this country. But the stuff that's used to top oysters or that's spread on grilled rice paper is highly processed. But here, they've got the good stuff.
I love all kind of cheese, even like a little bit skinny.
I feel like that was aimed at me somehow.
By my side, Han. She'll accompany me on this cheesy adventure.
It's camembert with some truffle infused in this kind of cream inside.
This is our appetizer, truffle camembert, a mix of mascarpone, ground roasted almonds, salt, pepper, and white truffle oil is sandwiched between 2 layers of camembert cheese.
Grab a piece of cheese. I just put it on the bread.
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
In the past, a meal like this would have only been possible if the cheese was imported from faraway lands. That's why these two created their own cheese factory. Within 30 days, the camembert goes through 3 main steps. Curdling, processing the curd, then ripening and aging, going from fresh cow milk to a French-inspired, distinctive, soft, creamy cheese. From the factory, it's shipped to the restaurant, and under the skillful hands of the head chef,
Cheers.
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 it becomes a type of edible art.
Oh my God. It's rich, it's creamy, and then there's just the perfect infusion of truffle flavor in there. It's better than sex. I love it so much. How long ago did you come to Vietnam?
We came in 2009.
When you started, did you start with the restaurant or with the factory? It's like a bird and egg situation. You need the factory for the restaurant, right?
We really started from the pizza.
Masuko is a self-described pizza maniac. He's traveled all over the world to train his taste buds and satisfy his pizza cravings.
When we started, we didn't know anything how to make a cheese. So we wrote a letter to cheese craftsman to come to Vietnam as a consultant. But nobody replied. Then we gave up and we went to YouTube.
Yeah, probably a lot cheaper.
From learning to make cheese from YouTube to running over 25 Pizza 4P's locations, these two have come a long way in a short time. And much of that success is thanks to the cheese.
Your first restaurant was in Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your factory now is a 6-hour drive away from here in Dalat. Why is it so far away?
The quality of the milk is much better in Dalat than Ho Chi Minh because of the climate.
The travel time from the milk farm to the cheese factory as shortened as possible is a much better quality for the cheese.
Their cheese-making headquarters was built in 2011 in Vietnam's temperate Central Highlands. On the inside, a cheese-making hub where over 1,300 gallons of milk are turned into over 1,000 pounds of cheese each day.
Right now, we're outside of your cheese factory. Big handshake. Or do you prefer a bow?
I prefer bow.
There we go. I didn't go deep enough. That's super respect right here. It's almost 8 p.m. and your cheese-making process goes from about 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Why do you do that?
We wanted to serve the cheese as fresh as possible.
Behind their commitment to freshness is a team of 30 cheese makers.
We process in night, then from the morning we can start to actually produce. Then we can ship in afternoon. Then in the morning we can receive and serve in the lunchtime.
That's insane. That's wild.
Here, they're producing over 10 different types of cheeses like camembert, fresh mozzarella, burrata, and string cheese. Right now, they're making ricotta, an unripened Italian cheese. The milk is boiled until it reaches 194 degrees.
So what is the big difference between 2-day-old cheese and 2-week-old cheese?
Add salt, then whipping cream, then lime juice.
If we don't put preservative, after 5 days, its texture is more softer, then taste is going to get bitter.
That mixture is cooked until it separates into clumps of milky white curd.
So you don't put any preservatives here?
We don't.
Then it's drained.
We want to avoid like anything that's not natural.
And packaged.
I don't even know if your customers appreciate how fresh the cheese is, because that's really a wild commitment to freshness.
Yes.
Does that just come natural to you?
This is what we are committing since we started from the beginning.
So this is the appetizer of BEFRS 4Ps. It's rolling like roll in Vietnam.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like a little ricotta kun.
So this is arugula, ham, and ricotta cheese.
I love ricotta. This looks fresh. It looks delicious. Let's try it out. Cheers. So So creamy, so clean. The herbs are so fresh and give some flavor too. A little bit of salty ham mixed in.
Yeah.
That's nice. It's very rich. Can you handle the richness? Are you dying for more herbs?
I need some herb.
Yeah, you need some herbs. Right now, I'm excited to be talking to Hugh, head chef at this restaurant right here. How old were you when you first tried cheese?
22.
Vietnamese people tend to not like heavy food as much. How could you encourage people to try cheese and become cheeseheads like me?
Ví dụ như là một người Việt Nam mà lần đầu tiếp cận.
In the world of cheese, especially when making pizza, one cheese stands above the rest.
He will try to convince them at the very beginning, you should try something very light.
It's the cheese Americans eat most, around 11 pounds per year on average.
It's a gateway cheese. They start with that cheese, and before they know it, they're addicted like me, right?
Mozzarella is a type of unripened cheese, meaning it doesn't need to be aged like Parmesan. Here in this factory, they're making over 1,500 individual cheese products per day. It all starts early in the morning, when the factory receives 4 tons of milk. The milk is stored in 2 cooling tanks until nearly 12 hours later at 8 p.m. when the cheese-making process begins. Step 1. Curdling. Pumping over 260 gallons of milk into a giant trough used for pasteurization.
Oh, there it is. You got scared.
Pasteurization means bringing the milk to a precise temperature, killing the bad bacteria and keeping the good bacteria.
So we will warm up 2 hours to become 63, then we pasteurize 30 minutes.
When the milk cools down to 104 degrees, they add lactic powder and rennet powder. This combination initiates the curdling process, where solvents bond together, leaving the liquid whey behind. This semi-solid mixture is sliced and diced into smaller pieces with this device known as a plumbus. Working till the sun comes up. When it's time to drain the liquid, the whey is kept for making ricotta cheese or even beer. Meanwhile, the curd rests in cool water for another couple hours. Step 2. Processing the curd. Large chunks of curd are removed from the trough and fed into a cheese kneading machine. This starts to bind the cheese together, altering its physical properties. When the cheese is removed by the cheese specialist, they repeat the same action, stretching and re-stretching.
It's 6 a.m. We've been making cheese for hours now. The only thing keeping me going is the fact that right now, this lady's making one of my favorite foods ever. The string cheese is made from mozzarella. Not made by machine, but made by hand. But the most important thing is the texture of the cheese.
The more they stretch it, the stringier the cheese will be.
She stretches it out, folds it over, stretches it, and this creates kind of like a cheese grain.
Once it's cut to size, it's ready to eat.
Look at the way this unraveled. Oh my Lord. That is what we're looking for. Oh, it's so good. Delicious, rich mozzarella, not too salty, very clean, obviously fresh. Nice. We're getting down to cheesy business over here. We're balling up this mozzarella. It's really hot, so one pair of gloves is not gonna do it. Ready? This gentleman is stretching out the cheese. It gets rotated, 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 and then you just kind of squeeze out a portion and you just pinch it off. When there's a new one, can I try it? If this shows up on one of your pizzas, it's fine, right?
It looks like mochi.
It looks like mochi. All right, should I put it in here? Oh, it feels nice. Oh, the mozzarella. It is my wish to eat a ball of mozzarella like an apple. Can I do that?
Sure.
Really?
Yes.
Take a look, guys. Oh, it's still warm. It's like a giant marshmallow. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry. It's like the best moment of my life. It's got this squeaky texture that only some of the best cheese can have. I'm amazed that this was milk just a few hours ago, and already it's just this beautiful, melty, stretchy mozzarella. It's glorious. I think I just ate like 500 calories.
Now it's early morning, and a large shipment of mozzarella is ready to be delivered immediately to their restaurants.
Here it is. We have a little bit of tomato, mozzarella on top, a basil leaf on top of that. It's all soaked in salt and pepper and a bit of olive oil.
Yeah.
Let's try it out. Oh, I'm in love. The cheese has so much body, and the salt brings out some of the flavor of the cheese. And then just the flavor coming from the basil, from the oil, salt and pepper. I love it.
And I think the taste make you like feel better for your next main course, right?
Right. It just gets you ready and excited for more cheese.
Alas, it's time for the king of cheesed dishes, the pizza. Here, the menu ranges from the familiar.
This looks glorious.
To Japanese-inspired creations you have never seen before.
Here, the 5-cheese pizza, all cheeses that they make here in their factory. They've also put blue cheese, but it's blended.
Yeah.
Everything is made from scratch with absolute precision. The dough is kneaded, then spread out until it reaches 11 inches. They add what they call milky sauce, then mozzarella, camembert, blue cheese, taleggio, Parmesan, and a hit of olive oil. It bakes for exactly 80 seconds in a brick oven, served with a small vessel of honey on the side.
You have never had blue cheese?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is fantastic.
Is it too much for the beginner like me?
No, it's perfect. All right, try it out. How do you feel? You're making a lot of sounds.
Salty, but not too bad.
Not too bad, that's a really high compliment. Here, because this has a sharp flavor, we've got some honey to kind of create some balance. It's super cheesy. This is an ideal pizza for like, girlfriend breaks up with me. She doesn't want to talk to me, which I know is going to lead to a breakup. And then I order this, and I eat my emotions. I feel better for at least an hour. You don't do that?
No.
Oh, that's why you're so thin. Yeah. Here, one of the most unique pizzas they serve here. This is a sashimi pizza.
The dough is prepared a little differently. It's baked in the oven for 80 seconds with a mixture of olive oil and shredded Parmesan on top. Then they evenly spread a sauce of capers and ricotta cheese. Sprinkle a bit of minced onion, then the raw salmon.
It doesn't get you high, but it smells good. Wow. It reminds me of Bagels and Lux. It's taken the form of a pizza. Nice, properly cooked bread, some creamy dairy, and some salmon.
It's really good. I am addicted to it.
That's right. Like, while it's in your mouth, you feel like a good person. Yeah, that's the drug.
We have one last pizza in store, an Italian-inspired pie that can't be made without one unique ingredient, burrata. This stuff makes me feel fancy, and it stands in stark contrast to more mediocre processed cheeses. But I'll let you in on a secret.
Here, they're making burrata. Ooh, what's that?
Burrata is a fresh cream inside of the mozzarella.
Similar to what we saw before, he's doing the same thing. He's kind of making the ball, and then that ball comes over here. They kind of hollow out the ball like they're making a little clay bowl. Then they dip it into this cream or liquid cheese, or what's that?
The fresh cream.
At first, they flatten and stretch the mozzarella cheese to create a stringy texture. Then shred it. Mix it with whipping cream. That becomes the filling.
Like some hakao. They kind of crimp it together on top. You know hakao?
No, I don't know hakao.
No? The best part is they tie it shut using more cheese. So everything is edible. The experience of eating burrata compared to mozzarella, how is it different?
It's more gorgeous, dynamic, like mild.
And now I'm back from the factory.
I never had the pizza with the huge burrata cheese in it like this.
The pizza crust is topped with a layer of arugula leaves.
You don't put any sauce in it?
No, you want chili sauce right now so bad, don't you?
Generous portions of Parma ham, cherry tomatoes.
You're actually supposed to be cutting the cheese.
And finally, the burrata.
Oh, are we getting a close-up of that? So when we look inside, it is interesting. It's like a cheese shell covered with more creamy cheese. Let's try it out. Oishii. The arugula is kind of fragrant and light. There's some nice salty ham, and then the cheese itself is just really like cold and creamy.
For anyone that want to try cheese for the first time, burrata is very easy to eat. Like it's not too rich.
The cheese it does have is super fresh, super clean. I like it.
Cheese is a guilty pleasure to most Americans.
And no one makes me feel
These days, it tops, smothers, or is injected into nearly everything.
You know, Vietnam is not a country that's known for its love of cheese. Did that freak you out? Did you know that when you started a pizza restaurant here?
The trend in Asia was slow to emerge.
So first 2 years, maybe almost 100% are foreigners, but now it's 75% are Vietnamese, local Vietnamese.
Now, with more local factories and suppliers flooding the market, it's safe to say the cheese train is chugging along and gaining speed.
For me, so far, this has been a lot of teasing. I think... Oh no! I ruined it! What do I do?
Around the world, people love their condiments.
It's got like a sharp tang to it.
Americans alone eat over 70 pounds of ketchup per year. That's a lot. When it comes to topping food with salty sauces, Asia is no different.
It's just like a sauce basket.
Yeah. But here, ketchup takes a back seat to the king of street food condiments. For today's mission, we're exploring the world of chili sauce, how it's made.
Now that seems like a fun job. This lady has a rake.
To how street food magicians include it in their recipes.
It's no longer a side item. It goes right into the final product.
We're getting a rare look at a sauce factory where they're producing truckloads of flavor enhancers. I'm talking millions of bottles produced each month.
How much chili sauce are you making in a year?
60 triệu chai.
That's amazing.
So how do they do it? Let's find out. Our destination for today's mission, Cholimex Factory. If you're a fan of spice like me, if you're a chili fanatic, then you'll love this place.
This is the very beginning of the chili sauce making process. Hun, is that you?
I'm here.
Oh, it's hard to tell anybody apart.
Joining me today, Han, fellow YouTuber from the channel Han Around.
Now, what's great about being on the assembly line is by the time they get to us, they've done all the work.
What you're seeing now is the result of more than 35 years of non-stop innovation. Decades of engineering poured into designing the most efficient sauce-making machine possible, cranking out truckloads of their best-selling condiment, the ketchup of Vietnam, chili sauce.
Have you had this kind of a chili before?
No, I thought it must be the very small chili. I don't think it's really big like this.
These chilies are picked from local farms and shipped here. First, each chili is quality checked. If it doesn't make the cut, it's gotta go, plummeting into the
pit of doom.
Next, the chosen ones will ascend through the
escalator of hope,
plunging into their second trial, the waterfall of life. It's like a giant washing machine, but just for plants. After being hand-picked and machine cleaned, these guys are ready
for the grinder of
well, it's just a grinder, I guess. A place where incomprehensible amounts of chilies become a pulpy paste placed inside giant buckets.
Right here, buckets and buckets just loaded with pure chilies. Actually, it smells amazing. Let's get a big scoop of it. Oh, look at that. Just pure, uncut, minced chilies.
Yeah, very strong smell.
So from here, I'm gonna put these in my car and I'm going home. No. From here, this is all gonna go to the next step of the chili making process.
The ground chilies are then pumped through a network of pipes into here, the processing room.
Imagine Freddy Krueger is chasing you through your nightmares and you end up here. This room. You'd probably never expect that they're actually making chili sauce here. And that's because for the most part, all these vessels are sealed off from the outside world.
Each of these giant holding containers stores the now liquefied chili juice minus the pulp or seeds. The spicy juice makes its way through these pipes into an intermediary mixing vessel that holds over 500 gallons.
Now it's not quite ready for cooking. First, they mix some of the batch here before it's pumped to its final location to cook.
Phase 1 includes all the vital, flavorful ingredients: chili juice, garlic, sugar, salt, vinegar, and ketchup.
Oh, the smell is amazing. It's just a swirl of devilish, reddish, orange, potential chili sauce. It's not chili sauce yet, and it's too liquidy. You wouldn't want to put this on your food because it's just gonna be like getting your food wet.
After about 10 minutes of mixing, this batch will be sent through pipes over to the cooking vessel.
Here is a whole row of cooking vessels. These things are huge. Once all the ingredients are finally pumped into here, it cooks for 30 30 minutes.
Now back to the mixing machine for phase 2. They add in a secret blend including modified starch and water. These ingredients help give the sauce its thick consistency. When it's ready, it's also sent to the cooking vessel.
From here, it's pumped out once more, cooled, and then sent to the bottling room. We're gonna go there next.
The bottling machine does everything.
This whole machine probably costs more than most people's retirement savings.
First, lining up empty bottles like young soldiers ready for battle. The chili sauce is pumped through a series of pipes into the machine, then into each bottle. This is probably the most visually satisfying food experience of my life. Thousands of bottles twisting, filling, and moving in unison, like a well-choreographed ballet. When it's full, white protective seal caps are placed on each bottle. Then the yellow seal cap. Finally, the squeeze cap. On the next conveyor belt line, bottles are turned 90 degrees to check for spillage. The bottle tops are sealed in plastic to further ensure freshness. Last up, labeling and packaging.
The coolest part to me is that from that production room until now, the chili sauce never touches the environment. There's no opportunity for a nostril hair to fall into it. Body lice, hair lice, not that I have lice. Oh, wow. So when the chili sauce comes off the line, it's actually still a bit warm. And this one is not quite ready. They need to still slap the label on there. Yeah. But this is it, man. This is the signature item. This is what everyone comes here for. For me, so far, this has been a lot of teasing. I think. Oh no! I ruined it! What do I do? Don't ruin it, don't ruin it. It's okay, everything's back to normal. Oh my God, we're gonna be fired. We've been teased all day, these gorgeous fresh chilies. I say we hit the streets and get some street food and just slather it with sauce. What's the best food for chili sauce?
I think for me, that pop up in my mind now is fish ball.
Are we doing fish balls?
No.
Oh yeah, we're not doing fish balls, sorry.
Vietnam is a sauce-loving nation, more than any other place I've been.
If you were eating a fine $200 Kobe steak in Japan, would you still put chili sauce on it? Yes.
Nearly every street food stall has a heat-packing sauce basket loaded with all the classics. Oyster sauce, soy sauce, fish sauce, chili sauce, and more.
Yeah, in the US, maybe you'd get ketchup, mustard. No one even likes mustard that much, but we put it there because ketchup needs a friend.
At this street side bistro, there are 30 menu options to choose from. They cook it up and you sauce it to taste.
For me, a Vietnamese, everything tastes better with chili sauce.
In the USA, putting ketchup on a steak is an insult to the chef. Here, adding a little bit of your own twist is welcome and expected.
Here they have soy sauce. What's this one?
Vinegar. Oyster sauce.
I actually planted this one here from the basket that we took from the factory. But from the factory, this is what we helped make.
This is their signature dish, gooey sauce over crispy noodles. It starts by wok frying a combination of proteins, pork, pork skin, shrimp, liver, and crab cake, along with minced garlic and shallots. Then veggies and a bit of water.
It smells fantastic in here, and I'm kind of glad to be out of that factory.
Then the seasonings, MSG, which turns the savory factor up to 11. Then oyster sauce, and they thicken it up with a bit of cornstarch.
Boom, so right here, the final step on top of the crunchy noodles, he's putting this beautiful gravy topping with meat, with veggies, seafood, everything together. Boom, check it out. This looks fantastic. It's just missing a little bit of that coriander. Oh, and a little bit of that, what was that? And a little bit of ground pepper. Good. Did we edit out the part where I said I didn't know what that was? Okay, good. I am just gonna smother my entire dish with the sauce. Like those psychopaths who just cover their whole french fries with ketchup. Since this episode is literally about chili sauce, I am obliged to put more chili sauce on here. Cheers. Oh, that's great. It is kind of a savory, salty explosion, and the sauce actually goes really well with this. It just makes it a little bit more spicy, gives it some kick. These noodles are impressive. When I was an unfortunate lad in central Minnesota, we ate chow mein from a can. It was like apocalypse food. It would leave your mouth just dry. It was like eating a hardened dust stick. This, fantastic. It's like thin and crunchy. I'm gonna take one more bite here. A little bit of liver, noodle, and skin. I'm gonna lethally assault this with chili sauce. Yeah. Vietnamese people, when they eat, they want to be doing this in between every word that they're saying.
Oh my God, it's so good. Oh, so delicious, I can't stop.
I'll have what she's having.
All this food is making me hungry. So right now, we're headed here, Heart Kitchen Restaurant.
Here's another fun food example. We're on the streets, man.
This next dish was invented by owner Miss N. It's tasty, affordable, and I've never seen anything like it before. When this place is rocking, they sell up to 1,000 oysters a night.
I think we have to do the cooking here. Do you know how to cook?
All while putting the responsibility of cooking on the customers. That is genius.
I just like the idea. Like one day their chef walked out, they said, I'm not doing it anymore. And they're like, oh, we'll have the customers cook, it's fine.
First, butter and onion hit the hot pan. Then the veggies, then the protein, 2 crab sticks, 10 to 12 oysters, and an egg. All this is gonna require a self-made sauce.
Okay, let me investigate with my nose. I don't know, something tomatoey.
Top this unlikely combination with shredded mozzarella cheese. The chili sauce is waiting on deck.
I'm supposed to be drinking and complaining about work, but I'm literally at work and I can't drink. What do we do?
We just have half of the bottle.
Yeah? Wait, yeah? M. John, hi, Jai. There you go, warm beer. Ah, bubbles. This is looking fantastic. So I'm gonna get an oyster. I'm gonna grab a little bit of cheese and egg. I don't know the right way, I just started doing it.
Usually we will have the bread put into the sauce first, to have a taste first, and then...
Let's try out this sauce.
Good enough.
I like it. Good enough. Okay, so now I've got an oyster, some cheese on here, a little egg. I'm gonna top that with some chili sauce. It's like an oyster sandwich. The oyster, it melts into the bread, mixed with that delicious cheese, a little bit of kick from chili sauce. The final big bite. You've done it. One more food. Shall we go? Maybe finish chewing.
I have a small pocket of space remaining in my stomach. So we're capping off this saucy street food tour here, a sidewalk stall.
Finally, we have made it to Ban Cheng Nung C002.
Serving what's known locally as Ban Cheng Nung. Some call it Vietnamese pizza, a dynamic variety of toppings combined atop a disc of rice paper and grilled until crispy. This stuff is good, and this place does it the best, with over 54 topping combinations.
Oh, right here. See, he's got some purple cabbage, egg, scallions, and one ingredient that is a must for Ban Cheng Nung is chili sauce. It's no longer a side item, it goes right into the final product.
Today, I'm getting a supreme pizza Vietnam style, starting with rice paper, then scallion, dried shrimpies, minced pork, and an egg to bind it all together.
And then next, what, chili sauce? Is it the chili sauce next?
Then 2 types of sausage, quail egg, shredded purple cabbage, shredded chicken, and beef jerky. Top that with mayo and chili sauce.
Boom. Yes, he's gonna hit it with some chili sauce. You love to see it, folks. That looks real good.
Han got a pizza too. It has this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and that. Got it? Okay, let's eat.
And there it is. That looks good. You ready to eat?
Actually, in Vietnam, we will add more tamarind sauces.
Tamarind sauce? But I just feel bad we didn't go to a tamarind sauce factory. Is it okay?
And also put some chili sauce in it.
Oh, now it's okay. All right, you ready for this? Let's take a ride down to Chili Sauce Town. Let's go. Oh, I love that.
You know, actually, I have this kind of Vietnamese pizza for several times. They don't have so much toppings.
Sorry, I can't stop looking at the giant glob of chili sauce on your finger. Are you gonna eat that? Here they go all out, and it's great because it has a good blend of flavors. Salty, a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy from the chili sauce. I love that crunchy rice paper. It's like an ultra thin crust pizza. A little tamarind sauce. Cheers. Mine almost feels like a taco. Have you ever had a taco?
Of course, yeah.
Oh. Guys, today we had the most fun possible that you can have at a factory, which isn't as much as you would think. There's like a lot of rules at factories. You think you can just run around and like throw bottles around? You can't do almost anything.
For me, all those crisps we have today, it just have a great combination with the chili sauce.
I wasn't always a fan. I'm still not gonna put it on every single thing ever, but I think now that I know all the energy and time and effort that goes into it, and I understand more about why people love it so much, I have a greater appreciation for the chili sauce.
This video is a tip of the cap to condiments, a salute to sauce. You're always there, hanging out on the sidelines, waiting your turn and filling in whenever we need you, but never getting any of the credit.
Next time I go out, I eat street food, I see it on the table, I'm gonna give it a little nod of the cap. Hey, I see you, I notice you.
In an often underspiced and unseasoned world, sauce is not the hero we deserve, it's the hero we need.
Now, the question everybody wants to know, do these noodles taste like watermelon?
In the age of this pandemic, nearly every step of the food supply chain has been negatively impacted.
During the pandemic, they couldn't sell anything.
Everyone is feeling the pinch.
He seems like a little emotional, or does he have something in his eye?
Restaurants,
I'm scared.
ocean-dwelling seafood farmers far from civilization, and especially large-scale manufacturers of yum.
It's like nostalgia.
Today's mission, learning how a fruit trading crisis fueled by COVID-19
we're getting help.
became an opportunity for food innovation.
Your company has taken dragon fruit and you've incorporated it into what you're making already.
I'm heading into some of Southeast Asia's countryside food factories.
Where do you find a machine like this? At a garage sale?
Where small teams and big passions turn simple ingredients into amazing eats.
Oh my God.
So how do they do it? Let's find out. Vietnam is the second biggest rice exporter in the world.
Jeez, that's really interesting.
With so much rice on hand, folks here have gotten darn creative with how to use it. Rice is used to make booze, rice noodles,
Oh, I'll have what she's having.
rice paper, steamed rice sheets. Our mission today is to witness how a modern manufacturer has transformed fruit and rice into something the world has never seen before.
Before today, had you ever heard of dragon fruit rice paper?
For you to appreciate what you're about to witness, we need to first take a step back and learn how rice paper is made in this super local countryside factory.
And Sin Chow Ko, little handshake. Thank you so much for having us here at your rice paper making factory.
Miss Hui comes from a family of rice paper manufacturers. They've been in the biz for over 20 years. Here, she and her team of 10 are producing up to 1,500 pounds per day.
Every day she wants like 600 kilograms of rice paper.
That's pretty significant when you consider one sheet of this stuff weighs almost nothing.
How do you even measure your production?
Cô ráng là cỡ 600 mấy ký.
She measured by the finished product.
Joining me on today's culinary adventure, friend of the show, Jup.
You have a huge machine here. Where do you find a machine like this? At a garage sale?
In this factory, the rice paper starts with flour. Could be rice flour, tapioca flour, or some ratio in between. In a large vat, the flour is mixed with water until it becomes one even, thick consistency. Then it gets pumped into the steamer. A giant roller picks up a thin layer of batter from the trough below. The silky liquid is evenly applied to a conveyor belt where it rolls into a steamer. After cooking and popping out the other side, this thin sheet sticks to a handmade bamboo pallet. Pallets that are also loaded by hand. Here, speed is key. Any gaps between the pallets means lost product and lost profit. As the pallets reach the end of the belt, a rice paper technician rips them apart one by one. Now they're ready to go outside and get a dose of sunlight, allowing the paper to completely dry.
Right now we're in the drying area. There's a disconcerting sound. What is that?
As it dries, the paper reduces in size, retracting across the bamboo rack, creating a positively eerie sound.
It sounds like it's raining.
Yeah, it sounds like the pitter-patter of rain.
I will ask her if this sounds like money coming for her.
Chắc có.
The drying can last anywhere between 1 to 3 hours, depending on weather conditions.
Have you ever tried to make a giant spring roll?
Đâu có bao giờ cuốn bự dữ.
She's never thought of that.
Okay, that's good. That's a good pity laugh. Why does this guy have a show?
Once drying is complete, the paper is peeled and stacked. Several layers of paper then descend beneath a massive hydraulic cutting press, where the sheets take their final form. These guys will be packaged and sold for dishes like spring rolls or rice paper salad.
The last thing I want to do while we're here, if it's okay, can I rip off a bite right now?
Cứ lột ăn bình thường.
It's clean, it's crispy, and it's just waiting to be filled with other fun ingredients. Fantastic.
We've seen it being made, but now I want to see rice paper in action. Here, you can get it rolled, grilled, mixed, pretty much any way you can imagine. Most of this stuff wasn't always around in Vietnam. These dishes were developed more than 12 years ago by the rice paper queen, Miss Vân. Since then, the popularity of this dish has spread like wildfire. Now, they sell up to 20,000 rolls per day.
Here, this is Ban Chang Gun.
Yes.
Nice.
To start, we'll try two of their famous dishes. First, rice paper rolls with a side of dip. A rice paper sheet is sprayed with water. She scissors pieces of quail egg, then peanuts, dried shrimp, beef liver jerky, and Vietnamese mint.
Should we go for it? That's really nice. This food is as much about the texture as it is the flavor. I mean, there's some peanuts in there, chewiness from the rice paper. Mainly those two things. Vietnam seems to take a lot of pride in its rice paper. You see it used everywhere. Did Vietnam invent rice paper?
Yeah, we invented rice paper.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
How do you know Vietnam invented rice paper? You feel it?
I feel it, yeah.
Oh, okay, just a rooster walking by.
The second dish is made with rolls of rice paper that have been dyed orange. They're cut up and smothered in chili sauce and mayonnaise.
I like this one better.
Me too. There's just even more flavor and more texture. When you were a kid, did you have this kind of a food?
No, they have just invented it recently.
It seems like every day people in Vietnam are coming up with new ways to use rice paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Next, we're going to see how one factory is turning an oversupply of dragon fruit into a type of rice paper that never existed before. But first, what the heck is a dragon fruit?
So right now we're in the middle of a dragon fruit field.
I've never been this close to the farm.
For me, I never even tried dragon fruit till I was well into my 30s. The first time I tried it was with you on this show like 2 years ago. The plant itself is kind of like a cactus, and then there's big, beautiful fruits on it.
Dragon fruit can be found in 3 main varieties: red, white, and one that's a bit yellow.
I think we cut one off and eat one right now.
We got permission to enter this farm?
No, we don't have permission.
This exotic fruit in Asia is actually native to Central America, but these days you can find it growing anywhere from California or Australia to here in Southeast Asia.
Oh, we're getting help. Okay, she's coming. She saw me.
You need to cut the male fruit, which tastes better.
Oh, the male is better?
Yeah, the male is...
Hey, I didn't say it, she said it.
She said it.
This is a male?
Yeah, that is a male.
How can she tell the difference?
The male has less lips.
I thought she was gonna say the male has a little mustache. Try it out. Super juicy, 1 million seeds inside, and then sweet but not over sweet. Hey look, I planted a tree on accident.
I don't think...
That's not how that works?
I don't think so.
All the fruit from this farm will soon be collected and shipped here. After the fruit arrives here, it's sorted by size, species, and quality. Then it gets a warm bath. Dozens of staff work to package the dragon fruit before it ships out. Some of this will be exported to China. Some will go to markets and some will end up in this factory.
Sir, thank you so much for joining us today.
This is Mr. Tung, owner of the farm we just came from.
How long have you been growing dragon fruit?
5 năm rồi.
He has been growing dragon fruit for 5 years.
In the past few years, dragon fruit production has increased dramatically in the Mekong Delta. Farmers were trying to keep up with the huge demand coming from nearby China. That was until Corona.
During the pandemic, there was a lockdown, so they couldn't sell their dragon fruits.
Oh man.
After the pandemic was in full swing, the Vietnam-China border was closed. That meant a huge surplus of fruit that had nowhere to go. prices bottomed out, dropping 70 to 80%.
Was fruit going bad? Was it being wasted?
All of the fruits that he harvested during that time, he didn't waste them. There were still people come to buy, but they have more power to bargain the price.
Luckily, some local entrepreneurs saw this tragedy as an opportunity, creating whole new products like dragon fruit bread, burgers, and even rice paper. These new products resulted in new demand for this tropical fruit, helping dragon fruit prices to stabilize.
He would be very happy if there are more and more domestic companies to create new types of dishes from dragon fruit, because selling for China and other countries is not very safe option for the farmers.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Now, I'm getting a behind-the-scenes look at how this brand new food is made.
Have you ever had a big person come to your factory?
Not yet.
I'm the first one.
Yes.
This is Mr. Doan, the CEO. Some call him Mr. Rice.
How many different types of products are you making here?
We have rice paper, rice noodle, rice vermicelli, and some about the vegetable product. We mix with the rice.
Oh. Hey, there's some rice right now.
Rice paper.
Ooh.
Here, he's taken the old traditional method of making rice paper and scaled it up in this modern factory, using technology to increase quality, hygiene, and volume.
We met a lady today. She's making 600 kgs of rice paper a day.
Wow.
How many kgs do you make in a day?
8 tons of rice paper.
Oh, 8 tons?
Yeah.
Oh, that's way more.
This was one of the many businesses that seized the opportunity and helped to solve the fruit crisis in Vietnam.
By doing this, you've really been able to help out local farmers.
Yes.
Since February, they've saved more than 100 tons of dragon fruit from simply rotting.
When you started, maybe you were able to take advantage of a little bit lower price. Now the price is creeping back up, which is good for the farmers, but is that going to be good for you guys?
We still produce, but we offer with our customer with a new price.
Brand new price. All right, people like new things, so I think that could work.
The signature Mr. Rice Dragon Fruit rice paper starts with the D fruit. Cutting and peeling piece by piece and turning it into a type of smoothie that's mixed with rice flour and blended until it resembles Hubba Bubba bubblegum. This beautiful bucket of Pepto-Bismol looking relief is pumped into the steamer. Here a thin sheet of rice paper is formed. When the rice paper leaves the steamer, the Mr. Rice team splits the pallets.
The color is very vibrant. Is that all natural?
All natural.
These get stacked up and sent to the drying machine. After 45 minutes, the paper is dry. Then it's peeled, stacked, and cut into smaller sizes. Quick quality check, and it's ready for packaging.
Is there any big difference between this and the normal rice paper?
Yeah, about the preparing, about the material, mixing and steaming, drying, also different.
Oh, everything's different?
Everything, yeah.
Wow.
This product is usually shipped out of Vietnam, so few people have tried it domestically.
He has never seen anything like this.
I want to see it in action now, so I'm heading back to our rice paper prepping specialist, Miss Vun.
Xin chào Jay. Thank you for having us. This is the dragon fruit rice paper. Before today, had you ever heard of dragon fruit rice paper?
She has heard about the dragon fruit rice paper on the television, but she has never had experience with it.
So it's a pretty exciting day.
After wetting it down, she stuffs it with all the familiar ingredients: peanuts, fried onions, quail eggs, coriander, and beef jerky.
It does taste more pink. Can you taste dragon fruit?
Not at all. Just the texture is chewy.
It's certainly thicker, and it's pleasing to look at. Maybe this is something you could make on Valentine's Day.
Should think about it.
Wait, hold on a second. Anytime I ask a girl out in the past, she said she'll think about it. I just never heard from them again.
Give her a deadline.
Give her a deadline. Are you gonna absolutely 100% put this on your menu starting tomorrow?
Should think about it.
For Mr. Rice, dragon fruit is just the beginning. He's also invented a rice noodle that's made with watermelon.
This is the watermelon vermicelli. How do you make this?
The watermelon is peeled, cut into chunks, then liquefies. That gets mixed with rice flour to create the dough for these noodles. 2 tons of flour and watermelon juice can produce 1 ton of noodles. Finally, this machine transforms the dough into vibrant orange noodles. You thought it was gonna be red, huh? Yeah, me too.
After you mix with the rice flour and you steam it, the color will change to orange.
Yeah, it turns orange. Maybe it even looks like pumpkin flavor.
When the noodles leave the noodle machine, an automated slicer will cut them to equal length. Those get hung on steel rods so they can dry.
The question everybody wants to know, do these noodles taste like watermelon?
Yes, but not really strong.
So it's just the gentle aroma of watermelon.
Yes.
The essence. You feel like there was a watermelon in the room recently.
The dry noodles are weighed and packed in watermelon packaging, ensuring the customer knows that watermelon played a critical role in the production of these noodles.
Before we leave, are you Mr. Rice?
Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much. Such a pleasure.
I bet you're wondering if these noodles really taste like watermelon. I was too, so I took them here. This shop is famous among locals. It's also enjoyed by outsiders, like this young backpacker guy. Their signature dish, marinated grilled pork mixed with rice noodles, or buntit nung.
So we just got back from the factory where they make noodles. They make all kinds of noodles, but we brought you a watermelon vermicelli.
Miss Win heads up the front of the house, and she's gladly taking on our challenge. First, she boils the noodles for a few minutes. In a separate bowl, she preps the greens. Top that with our watermelon noodles, grilled pork, grilled beef wrapped in betel leaves, grilled beef wrapped in pork fat, spring rolls, pickles, crushed peanuts, and scallion oil.
Does it look any different to you?
She sees the difference in the color of the noodles.
Really?
Yes. So the normal noodles is whiter than this one.
This one is like off-white. I'm very curious if it's going to actually have a hint of watermelon or not. Cheers. If it tastes like any part of the watermelon, it tastes like the green part.
Yes, it tastes like the peel.
What about you? What do you think? Yum yao. Does that mean really yummy?
It means the same.
Are you sure it's yum yao? Did you try to taste very deeply? Yeah, you're right.
It's very sure about it.
Okay, so I think we should take a bite with everything together. Buntit nung, one of my favorites. Sweet caramelized pork, a little spicy, and then just some nice vermicelli noodles.
She said it's delicious.
That's great. When are you gonna put it on the menu? You could have my picture next to it.
She says I don't know.
Well, listen, I think this was a lot of fun. You had fun?
Yeah, I had fun.
You guys had fun. And the only thing left to do now, conclusion. Let's go do a conclusion.
Vietnam is a land of entrepreneurs. Scrappy,
He has been growing dragon fruit plant for 5 years.
motivated,
Every day she has like thousands of guests coming.
and creative.
Was this your idea?
Yes.
These are the elements required to make something from nothing,
She already found the formulation for success.
or to transform simple rice into a money-making machine. Put another way, a rice paper factory. From researching and shooting to editing and mastering, our 10-person best ever food review show team works hard to roll out the highest quality travel food entertainment twice a week. If you like what we do here, please consider supporting our Patreon. Patreon allows fans of the show to contribute a monthly sum and receive a load of extras like early video releases, private Q&As, and beyond.
To learn more about our Patreon, check out the link in the description box down below. And if you can't give or don't even feel like it, that's okay too. We're just happy you're here. Guys, we did it. What another fun video. We had a lot of fun, and you had an equal or more amount of fun. Joop. Whoop. Thank you very much for joining me. Awkward handshake. Guys, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. Peace. You know, nobody watches this far into the video anyways. I don't even know why I do it. We should go. All right. Good video, though. I'm full. Man, I ate a lot of mayonnaise.